Hi, it's Jen.
And Todd.
And we're
I'm
back.
gonna be on camera.
And we're back with another podcast. And today it's about
Me?
movies. You were supposed to say movies.
Movies? Well, we should rehearse this or something beforehand. I'm not ready.
Do you want to start over?
No.
No? Okay. You're getting it raw.
Editing takes time, and I don't have time for editing ever. Not even once.
I mean, if we had an actual popular YouTube channel, we would, edit. Hope you like it raw.
We're gonna get demonetized because you said that now.
No, I mean, you're the one that's taking it into a pervy way. I just meant...
Pervy way? I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, I'm too lazy to edit, and people are gonna notice, like, this is the video that Jen uploaded. This is the video that Todd uploaded. Look how it's crappy quality. It's just one shot, and there's no pauses, and the thumbnails don't fit the screen. They're in the corner over here.
What I meant was, like, this is just, like, how it's gonna be plop. Because we're not starting over or taking any time to rehearse.
Oh.
It's not scripted either.
Scripting.
It's not scripted. Like, we're not reading from a script, is what I'm saying.
Does that say Sega?
No, it doesn't say Sega. Oh, yeah, it does say Sega, but that's not what it...
Sega.
Stop cheating. You're looking at my list. Don't look at my list.
Sega.
So, we're going to talk about movies. And we each wrote down a list of our top 5 favorites. Top 5 that we don't like.
I only came up with 4 that I don't like. And I don't necessarily hate them. I don't know, I'm bad at this.
You could have picked one of my movies. Oh, what was that movie that you really didn't like that we watched together?
Oh, the
Yeah,
Princess Diaries girl in it.
Yeah, there you go. Write that one down.
She was still a princess.
Yes.
I think. No.
She became
a princess.
And then became...
What was that
anyways,
called?
Ella Enchanted.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
But anyways...
Assless Ella.
Anyways, so top 5 that we love, top 5 that we dislike, and then 2 that we're excited for. And I haven't seen his list, and he hasn't seen mine unless he's been cheating, which I folded my paper.
I saw the word Sega and was like, wait, Sega's video games, what are you doing? Sega.
It's also like a Sega, like Harry Potter Sega is like...
That's a saga.
Oh.
Saga? Seriously? Saga?
No, I'm not serious. I knew that. I don't really movies. Not a big fan.
English.
It was just a little Sharpie. He's
It's
fine. No, I am better at English than you are. It's just, it has to do with movies, so I'm like...
But are you gooder than English than I is, perhaps?
Also, you'll probably hear our baby in the background. She's 7 months old and she's cute.
You'll notice me doing this. Take care of her. Come back.
Yeah.
Take care of her.
Do you want to see her?
No, they don't want to see her.
Yes, they do. She's the cute. Oh. Okay. So, cutting all of that out. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Tiny Leaves. What are you doing over there?
They don't want to hear you talking to the baby. If they can't see the baby, do you really think they want to talk to the baby?
I don't want to put her in front of the camera.
Okay.
She's too cute for them.
That's a terrible thing to say. Her beauty should be shared with the world. By the way, my shirt says "Meet me on the dark side."
And my shirt says Mortal Kombat.
What's this? Oh, Darth Vader. I've only worn this shirt like 3 times. I'm not actually a Star Wars fan. I got it because he's a Star Wars fan. Because, like, that's love.
It is love.
Okay.
And I don't like Mortal Kombat at all. It's awful. Just...
Stop lying.
I love Mortal Kombat so much.
Okay, who should start?
I think you should start because you don't movies and stuff.
Okay, so my favorite movie of all time, without a doubt, is called Coraline. And It's a stop motion. That's what's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a stop motion. And it's weird. And that's why I like it, is because it's not like anything else you'd ever come across. There's a book about it by...
Book preluded the movie.
Yeah, by Neil Gaiman. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't read the book. I just found out it existed like a year ago. And yeah, should I talk about what the movie's about?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about this
Or how it makes you feel, too.
Okay. Well, it's a movie about a little girl who doesn't really like her life. Her parents are kind of like, they don't really pay attention to her, and they're kind of going about their own lives, and they're always busy, and, you know, she's a little girl, and she wants to play, and she wants to do stuff, and they're like, no.
Are you sure this isn't Inside Out?
No, that's different. Anyways.
So far, it isn't.
I'm
kidding. Talk about your movie.
Yeah, I would if you wouldn't interrupt me. Anyways, so she ends up exploring her house and finds, like, a little door. By the way, this is all spoilers. I won't spoil the ending, though. That way you can go watch it yourself. And there's an other mother, and basically she wants to stay with the other mother because she, like, feeds her really well and has all this kind of, like, fun things for her to do. And so she starts, like, hating her parents even more and loving the other mother. And the really cool thing is the other mother has buttons for eyes. So yeah, Coraline has blue hair, which is really neat. It's like short blue hair, and she wears like a yellow raincoat, and so I don't know, I like that it's kind of out there. Your turn. You're first.
Well, as pre-mentioned before, I love Star Wars, and my favorite Star Wars movie, no surprise here, is The Empire Strikes Back. It is, at least in my opinion, one of the greatest films ever made, the greatest Star Wars film ever made. It so encompasses the aftermath, and it is tried and true what a sequel should be. Not in a sense where it's bigger. It's the good guys won the first match, and the bad guys are pissed, and they are coming, and they're coming full throttle, and they are coming to just wreck everything nonstop. And they do. And that's what I really love about Empire is if you're the little guy going to take on the machine, you get your little victory against the machine is going to fight back. And it's just that story of the little guy trying to survive that.
Question. If you've never watched a Star Wars movie before, could you start with Empire Strikes Back?
No.
Okay, well there you go. So, I mean, he made it impossible for people who don't like Star Wars to go watch his favorite movie.
I did mention it is a sequel and is the all-encompassing sequel.
Some sequels you don't have to, like, watch the first one to watch the second one.
I'm saying you do not have to watch the 3 that technically come before Episode 4, but you should watch Episode 4 in order to watch Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. But you don't necessarily have to watch Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith at all.
So even for those of you who aren't Star Wars nerds, watch Episode 4,
A New Hope,
and then you can watch Empire Strikes Back. And he's not saying that New Hope is, like, very good or anything, but you gotta watch it before you watch Empire Strikes Back.
No. New Hope's great. It's great.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the one that started all. It's the all-encompassing Star Wars movie. It's just Empire is better.
Okay, well, there you go. Don't hate him for that opinion. Okay, number 2. Start or I start?
You start.
Okay,
we'll go back and forth.
Alright. So... I'm gonna get so much crap for this. Second movie, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. First off, huge Harry Potter nerd. I love Harry Potter. I've loved Harry Potter since I was, like, young, starting reading the books first. Books are better, as in almost any case, books are better. And the second book is not my favorite, but the second movie is definitely my favorite.
I have a question
Okay.
in the books versus movie argument.
Yeah.
What about the Hobbit movies, where the Hobbit movies are like way more encompassed and more detailed than the book?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, reading the book would take you less time than watching all 3 of those movies that are completely unnecessary.
Okay.
Like, they're very detailed and everything, and that's, like, great, but, like...
See, I never read The Hobbit, but I saw 2 of the Hobbit movies. I saw the first Hobbit movie, and then the...
Demolition of Smog or something like that.
I'm guessing it's the second one. They did not kill the dragon,
Right.
but they had gotten to the dragon.
Yeah. I read The Hobbit, but I was young, and I was not about, like, reading The Hobbit.
I saw the 1970s cartoon thing, though.
Yeah, I saw that too. After I read the book for school, and then they're like, "Here, I'll watch this cartoon." So I can't really like. I don't know. I'm not like a big fan of the Lord of the Rings books or the Hobbit book because it's long and it's not appealing to somebody who's young, in my opinion. But I'm sure if I went back and read it now, I'd like it a lot more.
There's just a lot of lore there, and I know people love it because there's just so much lore there.
Yeah, we totally went off topic.
Sorry. Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets.
He's going to do that a lot. He's going to completely interrupt me to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. So get used to that.
It's true.
It's a terrible relationship.
Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets.
Okay. So I can't even tell you exactly why it's my favorite of all of them. Because, like, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, there's a giant snake.
Spoilers.
If you can't figure out that it's a giant snake, then you're not smart enough for Harry Potter anyways.
Oh, that's so mean.
No, it's seriously
That's
though.
so mean. Like, what if there's like a 10-year-old watching this and they like Harry Potter's before their time? Because Harry Potter's before people's time now.
That's so sad. But no, seriously. Like, it's a Slytherin, heir of Slytherin. And...
What's a Slytherin?
What?
What's a Slytherin?
Slytherin is a house.
Because, you made me explain Star Wars, and Star Wars has been around for 40 years.
Oh, so Slytherin is a house, and the house that you get sorted into houses at Hogwarts.
What's
Slytherin,
a Hogwarts?
Oh my gosh, are you serious right now? We're never gonna get to the end of this. Hogwarts is the school of witchcraft and wizardry that you go to in the movie, and so anyways, you get sorted into 4 houses, and it's Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. I'm doing this really crappily. Like, I could talk about this for about 3
Tiny
hours.
one, what's going on?
But we don't have 3 hours to talk about Harry Potter, so I'm doing this like a speed round thing. So, but anyways, if it's like the Slytherin, and the whole freaking thing is about talking about how, like, Harry can talk to snakes, and how he can hear what's in the chamber, like, he can hear something in the walls, because it's a snake, and Slytherin, snakes, like, it's staring you right in the face that it's a freaking snake.
To be fair, these are kid books.
Yeah, I just saying, like, why I spoiled it.
I know.
Okay, anyways.
Why do you love that movie?
I can't even tell you. I can't tell you, like, it has to do with, like the whole youth thing, because I feel like it's, like, right before they hit, like, the kind of, like, teenage angsty years, because, like, in the third one, Harry Potter's, like, kind of sad all the time, and it's also the last one with the Dumbledore that I prefer. I don't know, it's just, like...
You like nice old Dumbledore as opposed to, like...
Did you put your name in the cup of fire, Harry? Dumbledore said calmly. If you get that joke, give this video a thumbs up, because I get that joke. So, anyways, I like the old Dumbledore. I like that they're, like, it's like a symbolic, like, youth type thing. It just reminds you of childhood, and it's everything great about childhood, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, your turn.
My second favorite movie is Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
You really like those sequels.
I do like sequels. I like sequels a lot.
I have a sequel on my list that I hate.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Oh.
Yeah, again, you should probably watch Terminator 1 before watching Terminator 2. But again, it's something that takes the original, which was such a groundbreaking film on its own, like Star Wars was back in 1977. It's such a groundbreaking action movie, and does what any good sequel should do, and makes it better, and changes things in the right way. Because if you're completely blind to what happens in Terminator 2, and you go in there and you watch that movie the first 30 minutes, you're going to be so confused when the movie flips the script on what's actually happening.
Yeah, no, the whole movie I feel like you'd be confused. But I'm going to have to disagree with you because I like Terminator 1 so much better.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole kid thing. The kid in it. I just...
Well, I think that's part of the appeal too, is like you have so much, like Terminator 1, spoilers, put so much focus on like the world's going to end, and the one person who's able to fight back against the aftermath of the apocalypse, his name is John Connor, and he has not been born yet. And Terminator 2 takes it where John Connor is...
Like a 10-year-old?
10, 12, 13, 11, around that age. And he's a shitty kid. And it's like, this is the person, this shitty kid who's going to supposedly save the world.
I mean, I like the two Terminators. That's cool.
And it just takes what you expect that the first film built in its own lore and just flips the script on so many things. Yeah. In a good way, not as, let's say, Terminator Genesis, where that movie just kind of flips the script in just all the wrong ways. I mean, I enjoy the movie for what it is. I enjoy Genesis for what it is, but I mean, Terminator 2 is clearly the superior Terminator movie.
If you see me making cute faces, it's at the baby. Sorry, I'm just randomly making cute faces, and it's totally at the baby.
Your turn.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, number 3, I'm gonna go, these aren't in order, by the way. I can't tell you what order they should be in. 7 Pounds. Have you seen that movie?
That's Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Why do I like that movie? It's heart-filled, it's sad, it's dramatic, like they catch you in the first couple of minutes and you're just like, wait, what? What's happening? It starts off where, like, Will Smith is sitting there in the hotel room, and he's calling 911, and they're like, 911, what's your emergency? And he tells you, like, where the hotel room is, and he says who he is, and that someone's, like, going to die or something like that, and then they ask who, and he's like, me. And, like, that's what is that called, a forecast?
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, because that happens much later, at the end of the film, almost, but, like, that's the first couple of minutes of the beginning of the film. And then it, like, starts from the beginning and shows you how it got to that. So, like, that first 5 minutes, you're like, whoa, like, wait, what? And then it's very, like, it just draws you in with the characters it has. And you really can feel for all the characters and especially Will Smith and, like, what he's doing. And I won't give you any details about it.
I'm going to say, you're incredibly vague about this movie.
No, I can't.
Like, I remember the end of the movie.
Yeah,
and not necessarily anything else.
I can't give away any details without, like, really spoiling it. And I don't want to do that because that's one of those movies where, like, it hits you in the end almost. And it's just like, oh, okay. But it's sweet, it's caring, it's kind, it has its breaking points, and the characters are really great. Yeah. Watch it, please. Tell us what you think, because it's definitely, I mean, it's in my top 5, so, really love that movie. Haven't watched it in a while. We should watch that again.
Okay.
But, really, really good movie. Props to Will Smith and everybody in it, actually. Good for you. Your turn.
My number 3 is the only cartoon I have on here.
Oh no, I got 3 cartoons. 2 cartoons.
My number 3 is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. It came out in the early 90s. It's the only animated Batman film to actually be released in the movie theaters, which is why I can count it as a movie and not like one of like DC's like crappy cartoon movies that
Like
they write
those
off.
like Disney Channel original movie type things.
Yeah. Yeah, but Batman Mask of the Phantasm takes place early in the Batman the Animated Series cartoon from the same 90s era. And it very much... It tells a Batman story that for its time wasn't told before. It's Batman's early days with his present days. It very much rolls in like, this is how it began, and that's how it affects what's happening now.
Now keep in mind, this is animated.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
It has probably the best relationship between Bruce Wayne and another woman, where where you have that just raw emotion, whereas like if you have like Batman Catwoman or Batman and Talia al Ghul or Batman and like Silver St. Cloud, like they're all great relationships on their bound, but it's like this is the woman that in this series that he wanted to marry and give up being Batman for. Like all those other relationships, he's still Batman or is exclusively Batman to those people, whereas he was willing to give up his crusade for his parents, the whole justice blah 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 thing, for this person. And that's just, I think that's heartfelt. And then how the current story rolls in with the backstory of this, this murderous vigilante that everyone seems to think is Batman, even though it just looks like death. Like, this is death looking person coming around just slaughtering mobsters and whatnot. But again, it's one of my all-time favorite Batman films of all time.
I like it. I mean, I have a deep love for Batman and Catwoman's relationship. I can't even tell you why, because I don't even like regular Catwoman. I like Holly Berry Catwoman. All those haters. But, by the way, I moved the camera there, not to focus more on me, but because our other kids are in the kitchen, and I didn't want to put them on camera there. You didn't even notice that.
I didn't.
But, so I'm like, I like it, but I'm just like, Catwoman is so much better. So I have that problem. But, I mean, if you don't have that opinion, I think you really like it, especially if you're a fan of Batman or, like, the cartoon Batman. Because some people are like, ew, cartoon Batman, I don't watch those. I want, like, action-packed Batman.
You want, like, where are the other roads going?
Yeah.
Or Arthur Curry, I heard you talk to fish.
Yeah. But, yeah. So if you can watch cartoon Batman and you don't have a serious thing for Batman and Catwoman, then I'd watch this.
I think it's just a great starting point for anyone who isn't necessarily familiar for Batman, because it's a year one story.
Yeah, that's true.
This is how it started, and then this is him like 10-ish years later.
This is how long the video is, by the way.
I'm aware.
Okay, I don't know if you care how long the video is.
I think we should do the 5 favorites, pause it, and then our next video will be the 5 that we don't necessarily care for.
So,
boom.
Way to stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Watch another one of our videos, find out what we don't like. Okay, so you're cheating. That's okay, I already looked at yours.
Yeah.
So my next one is Pocahontas. Now
the historically inaccurate Disney film. I'll stop it.
I knew I was gonna get hate there. Now, hear me out on this one, okay? First off, at least it's a historical cartoon.
But
anything else is just
have you ever heard the wolf howl at the blue corn moon?
Anything else is just made up crap. Like, it's made up. Like, completely. It's not real. It's and
You
most
can't
of
paint with all the colors of the world, people.
it's all,
Or wind.
Yeah.
Colors of the wind.
yeah. Plus the music is outstanding. But I just
Trees don't talk.
Can you stop interrupting me? Gosh, you're a terrible person. I don't interrupt you 5,000 times. Please post in the comments how many times, count them, how many times he has interrupted me while I'm talking about my movies, because I bet it's way too many.
It is. Go on, Pocahontas.
So, the music is great. The voice actors are outstanding. They do a really good job. I love the... And, like, if you get that reference, give a thumbs up, because I get that reference. And just the way that they're, like, going into each other's culture. And the fact, I don't know, the fact that it's our baby.
What are you
The
doing?
fact that it's, it is based on a historic fact, like, thing that happened, whether how inaccurate or accurate it may be, it still actually happened. And that's pretty darn cool in my book. A Disney princess, well, you know,
You're
happened.
telling all these people that Pocahontas is superior to Lion King?
In my opinion, I prefer Pocahontas over Lion King.
Or Frozen?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay,
what's
well,
that other
because-
one that just came out? That's Mona or Moana?
Yeah, Moana.
I
Well, here's
no
my
idea.
thing, is that Pocahontas, I don't know if Pocahontas or Mulan came out first, but first off, it's a different race. Second off, it's like she doesn't need John Smith, like, she's saving the day. Like, she's stopping him from being murdered. She's taking control of everything. Like, she is really standing up and doing, you know, something good for women, and what she wants. Like, she is just showing so many women, like, hey, like, little girls who are watching this, you can stand up and you can, you know, stop a war from happening. Like, she stops a war from happening.
As opposed to, like, Mulan, who just fights alongside the war and, like,
Yeah.
kicks ass.
Yeah, I mean, like, Mulan's a great movie, too. I'm just saying, like, it's a different race. It's historic, like, it's a historic thing that has happened, and she kicks ass. Like, Pocahontas is great. She's
It's
a great
true.
role
It's
model.
true.
Like, because everyone's like, oh, well, Frozen, and the first Disney princess and queen that don't need a man, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, where have you been? Like, I love Frozen. Anna and I are like the same person. I love Frozen, but not nearly as much as Pocahontas. And I'm sorry that you don't feel that way, which I'm sure that there's a lot of you that don't. But I mean, you can give us your opinion, but these are just ours, and don't take them to heart. Just watch Pocahontas if you haven't watched Pocahontas, and have your kids watch Pocahontas if they haven't watched Pocahontas. I mean, schools don't talk enough about Native Americans anyway, so educate them with Pocahontas. But eventually someone's going to break their heart when they tell them the truth that what really happened with Pocahontas. So just brace yourself. It's like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Pocahontas. Okay.
That's terrible.
It was terrible. I almost cried in my history class that day.
My number 4 film is something you really can't buy in a regular film store anymore, and it's because it's just so incredibly dark. And it's A Clockwork Orange. It started off as a book and was made into a film by Stanley Kubrick, one of the most, you know, I wouldn't say visionary, but definitely one of the most well-respected filmmakers that there has ever been. A Clockwork Orange is very much a political piece, as it is just kind of shocking. Because you have this young man, Alex, who he's a thug, and he's just a terrible individual. He's a thief. He's a rapist. He's just the worst kind of person.
Keep talking. I gotta go get
Oh, absolutely. And he's just the worst kind of person that anyone can aspire to be. And somehow through what's the word I'm looking for? Mental conditioning. He's made into this sympathetic character. It's you take this character who is just all encompassing the worst things a human being can be, and it makes you feel sorry for him. It deals a lot with politics, propaganda, brainwashing.
Oh,
It's a dark movie, and it gets darker as it goes on, and
scary.
it's old. It's crazy old. Came out in I think the mid-70s.
Oh,
So for again a movie to tackle those kind of issues decades ago really shows you we haven't gotten too far as people.
that's true. Wow. Okay. Number 5. When I say this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, surprise, surprise!" Is Anastasia?
The cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoon.
The other historically inaccurate cartoon?
Yes, which is
You love them feel-good cartoon movies that are just
that
wrong?
make me cry in history class. Yeah, because I think I learned both on the same day. You know what I did? I learned about Pocahontas, and then I was like, "Oh, and you're just gonna tell me that Anastasia just died?" Set myself up for that one completely.
I remember learning about Rasputin in history class.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fun.
So, I don't really think I need to talk about why I love Anastasia, because it has kind of the same thing to do with Pocahontas, except it's about family and like finding your family and just wanting a family, and Paris, which I freaking love. I mean, I've never been, but I've studied.
Plus you have like
French
Angela
culture.
Lansbury.
Whoever that is.
Oh, you're terrible. You're a terrible
I
individual.
don't movies. Like this is
That's
very
Murder, She Wrote. She's
Oh.
Mrs. Teapot and whatever her name is in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Murder, She
Bedknobs
Wrote.
and Broomsticks.
No, what's her name in Murder, She Wrote? I have those books.
I have no idea.
Oh my god, that's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to look it up, and I'll tell you in our next video what her name is. But yeah,
I think she's in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I have no
what
idea.
that is, but I know
It's a
what you're-
Disney movie.
Okay, but yeah, Anastasia. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Is Anastasia a Disney movie?
No.
I didn't think so. Which is weird, because when you watch it, you would think it was a Disney
It's
movie.
like Little Nemo or...
Finding Nemo, you mean?
No, Little Nemo.
I have no idea.
It's not a
what
Disney
Nemo
movie,
is.
but it's you think it's a Disney movie. Or like American Tail with the
I don't know what it is
mouse.
either.
He's like an Eastern European mouse, and he's an immigrant, comes to America.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's my top 5. I'd love to hear your top 5. And, I mean, if you love my top 5, thank you. And if you don't, I'm sorry that you don't. I'm not sorry that they're my top 5. I'm just sorry that you don't. You're number 5.
Now, this was hard for me because I could not come up with a number 5. And so I just picked a movie that I very much care for a lot.